right, shalom. Before we start the lesson, we'll bless the names of our power and give all praises, honor, and glory to the names of our power. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Bahashem, HaKadash, Kol Halayim, La'abadnawa Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, HaKadash. All right, in ancient Hebrew tongue, these are the correct names of the Heavenly Father, the only begotten Son, and the Holy Spirit. Also want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who we will teach for. Much due respect to the sincere Akim who are laboring in works. And shalom to you believers, to the Akim or Akwayam, which would be brothers and sisters who subscribe to this truth. All right, that's your brother Makia with Holy Spirit Yahushai. At it again, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, and Lord willing, the lesson may be edifying. All right, and as always, the theme of this is prophecy. All right. So today's lesson, rolling through the spirit on various / current topics, pretty much to especially for like the newcomers, the new brothers and sisters, to put you on game, to keep, to bring you on board, because there's a lot going on. All right. So I'm gonna open up I'm gonna grab some stuff off of my Instagram, some of the posts, recent precepts, do a little bit some word searching, try to make it edifying, the best of my ability. All right. Just go here. All right, All right, so we're gonna start with this one. All right, one of the brothers posted, and it was like, damn, this is reality check. All right, we'll let the video speak for itself.
You fuckers want a reality check? I'm gonna give you a reality check. $1,052 to fill a semi-truck in Tennessee. It is currently, right now, $5.15 a gallon. What the fuck are y'all gonna do next month when your gallon of milk costs $11? Because you hear that? That's the only way you get milk. Reefer units, refrigerated trailers. It ain't like y'all gonna do without. Y'all better wake up.
Oh shit, my
Fuck
bad.
up.
All right, so you saw it there, right?
You want
a reality check. All right, we're coming to a time where inflation is going to eventually trend. Well, we're going to definitely hit inflation. It's pretty much already here. Certain places are already experiencing, the gas prices are increasing. Apparently, we had hit a record high average cost of gas, per gallon. It's like the average is like around 4 something. Like around, let's say about 4.20, 4.30, $4 and like 30 something cents per gallon, right? Some places it's like in the 5s, some places in the 6. I saw a picture where somewhere in California, I think in Beverly Hills, California, the gas prices were just for regular, right? Was like in the $7, right? So, it's about to be a major slap in the face, a reality check to a great number of people, all right? Because you still got people out there, a great number of people who don't have a damn clue what's going on. They're just too tied in with the civilian life, with the worldly stuff, and they got their heads so far up their ass that they can't see that, the signs is there. Like they say, the signs are written on the wall, all right? Gas prices are going to continue to increase from here on out. The price of goods, whatever you need. Mind you, when you go into famine, it's not just food, right? That's going to be at a very low quantity level, right? It can also be, gas, right? Medicine, the things that you need for the flesh, but also what society needs for it to function, to run. all right, to operate. All right, and oil, gas is a major uh, essential item that the world runs on, right? You know, if you don't have oil, if you don't have gas, right, or you don't have enough, right, you're gonna have to start rationing, and then once you start rationing, you're gonna put a higher price on it. All right, if you can't afford gas, you know, how can the truck drivers go and deliver the goods so they can drop them off at the supermarkets, drop them off at these stores, right? And if the company, these trucking companies can't afford gas, you know, they can't afford drivers, and they can't afford drivers. Who's going to transport these goods? All right. So it may not seem like a big deal, but just having a high price on gas can cause a major chain effect. It can cause a major domino effect because it will affect everything else. All right. So I'm gonna read the scriptures here, and it says the book of Second Esdras, chapter 6, verse 22, and it says, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown; the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty." All right, and suddenly goes into without warning. It happens quickly, right? In fact, since I brought that up, I might as well bring it up, you know, for edification purpose. Let's see what suddenly goes into. Uh, Suddenly definition, right? And it says quickly and unexpectedly. All right, and you have some similar terms here. It will be immediately, in. I'm not gonna get that one. Um, yeah, straight away, at once, all of a sudden, unexpectedly. I always read that one unexpectedly. In a flash, all right, out of the blue, right? Right. I know a lot of people are familiar with that. Oh, it happened out of the blue. When something happens, like, oh man, shit, it happened out of the blue. All right. So when you get immediately, it goes into at once, instantly. All right. And let's go back. Let's get another similar term. Then we'll move on. Um, Bear with me. Come on, damn it. Let's check out of the blue. It says without warning, unexpectedly. All right. So, right, when these sown places appear unsown, right, the full storehouses shall suddenly, out of the blue, right, unexpectedly be found empty, right? That's going to cause a major chain reaction into society, right? Especially those who does not dwell in this congregation of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh, who doesn't have this wisdom and knowledge of the Holy Scriptures, and not just having the wisdom and knowledge of the Holy Scriptures, but the understanding of it. Okay, so let's give an example, right? One day you go to your nearest supermarket to get some food or whatever it is that you need, right? Grocery shopping, whatever you need to get from the store, right? Let's just say food for the example, right? You want to get some food, you want to stock up, you know, for your week or 2 weeks, right? And you enter, and then you notice the sown places, the shelves, right? These departments shelves are just it's just unsown, right? It's suddenly unsown, right? It appears unsown. It seems damn near empty or possibly nothing at all, all right? And it says suddenly, when what we just said, out of the blue, right? Unexpectedly, without warning, all right? So let's say, for example, you went shopping today, and you know there's a good amount of goods stocked up, and then you go tomorrow, and then boom, the shelves is fucking empty, like a group of men just went into the store and just fucking D-blocked the whole damn spot. You know, just grabbed up everything, bought everything. All right, suddenly, okay. All right. And the food storehouses, that can be like, let's say, for example, some of these like supermarkets, they'll have like in the back of their store, they'll have their own little warehouse, right? And even that is going to be suddenly unsown. It's going to appear unsown. It's going to be empty. All right. And when the storehouses are empty, how can the sales floor be stocked up with goods, right? If the storehouses are empty, the warehouses and stuff, right? So something like this, just paying so much on gas can cause a major domino effect in the day-to-day uh, uh, life, uh, civilization. All right. Matthew 24:7, it says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom." All right. So while you have nations rising against nations and you have kingdoms going against kingdoms, right? While that's going on, you're going to have this going on too. And there shall be famines. And while you have famines going on, you're going to have pestilences that's also taking place, right? And it says, and earthquakes in diverse places. And earthquakes goes into, so-called natural disasters, right? Like actual earthquakes, tsunamis, rainstorm, hailstorms, dust storms, tropical storms, tornadoes, cyclones, right? And the list goes on, right? That can all fit into the category of earthquakes, right? And that's not natural disasters. That's actually Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, making it happen, all right? But we read, and suddenly, right? Suddenly also goes into out of the blue. There was another similar term where it says, I think all of it happened at once, something like that. Wait, let me get that real quick for edification purpose. Let me actually get that for y'all. Immediately, it was, I think, all of something. No, all at once, I think. I think that was one of the similar terms. Or some, yeah, say all at once, okay? Let's click on that one. All right, it says, so for all at once, you have without warning, suddenly, all at the same time. All right. So and it says at once, right? So when you go, let's go back to, I didn't even realize that I didn't share the screen with you guys about Kushas Alakia. All right. So here, right, in the book of Matthew 24:27, it says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And we just read that here, right, for one of the similar terms for suddenly will be what? With it will be all at once. So you're going to have all of this going on at once, okay? All right, you're going to have all of that going on at once. Let's actually go into that real quick. Let me share that with you guys. Go into famine, because famine is not just food, okay? Famine definition. It's not just food. It's not just food also being affected, but it's just pretty much whatever you need in your day-to-day life. Civilization. All right. You have, see, one of the similar terms for famine would be here. You see, it's a shortage, scarcity, lack. All right, deficiency. So when you go to shortage, is a shortage of what? Shortage of food, shortage of oil, shortage of gas, shortage of water, clean water, shortage of medicines, right? A shortage of whatever you need. All right. A state or situation in which something needed cannot be obtained in sufficient amounts. All right. And then you got, and then when you go to shortage, a similar term is what? Poverty. All right. So let's click on that. Then we'll move on. It says the state of being extremely poor. So Babylon, aka America, is going to be in the state of being extremely poor real soon because of that inflation. Then eventually that inflation is going to lead to hyperinflation. right? That's when you have the famine being involved, okay? All right. And then it says there shall be famines and there shall be pestilences, right? So let's go into pestilences. All right. Damn it. All right. So pestilence. Uh, let's see. All right. So pestilence, right? It says a fatal epidemic disease, especially bubonic plague. So similar terms here will be disease, contagion, infection, sickness, epidemic, pandemic, the pest, loose. All right, so this type, just click images, just get some examples so you get some visual look at it too. Let's see. No, not really. So, not really any good images I'm actually looking for, but you get the point, right? Where it's going to be a worldwide of diseases, viruses going around, right? And some of these viruses and diseases can be contagious, right? You can get it from like close contact, through fluids. It could be airborne, right? It's going to be contagious, right? Let's click on contagion, and then we'll move on. It says the communication of disease from one person to another by close contact. All right, so there's going to be diseases, pestilences out here where you can get it from close contact. All right, it's going to be contagious. All right, that's pestilences. So let's go back. All right, so Matthew 24:7, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, shortages, right, scarcity, poverty, right, and pestilences, diseases, sicknesses, contagion, right, viruses, and earthquakes, so-called natural disasters, in diverse places. All right. So all of this is going to be happening all at once, suddenly. Okay. The book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 11, and it says, "And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven." So Yahweh, Yahushai, is going to be, he's going to be orchestrating all this anyway, all this that's going on. But he's definitely going to be using Esau, Edom on the left hand side, to do the works so more prophecies can be fulfilled. All right, using Esau and his blessing that he was given, the sword, right? Sword it symbolizes destruction, right? Kill, destruction, war, right? And it says, "And fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven." And there's going to be signs of fearful sights and great signs coming from above that we have never seen before. All right, even from the ancient times, those fearful things that have those fearful sights, those great signs, everything that Yahweh had done in the past, it's not even going to come close to what we're going to see now. So, Lord willing, we're considered friends of Yahweh Shai. We don't get to see. I mean, we don't actually be enemies of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai when He visits place. We are found as servants, prophets, friends, sons, loved ones, beloved ones. Okay. I don't know about you, but shit, I ain't trying to be an enemy to my Creator, to my Heavenly Father, my big brother. Hell no. All right. So let's move on to the next topic. All right. So let's click on this one. Brother Habar has shared this. It was funny actually. Take a good look. Seriously, take a good look at this. You see the texture the material is made out of? Does it really look like a real gun? No. It's just cardboard. All right. Cardboard rifles. All right. And this is from Fox News. Right. So the brother Abar from Prophets of Babylon, right? He said, bro, y'all should have been stopped watching the news by now. Everything on that motherfucker, right? is script. And it is, everything on the news is script, right? The news reporters will look at this little box is a display, and they can read what they are told to say, right? They're given a digital script and they have to read it. All right. So it's not the actual reporters actually reporting, like it's not actually them speaking from the heart. That's not them speaking. No, they're speaking on whatever script they were given to them, right? That's why you cannot always believe everything you see on these fucking news, man. All right, because a lot of the shit is scripted. All right. Um, Revelation 12:9, right? It says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent. All right. All right. So these are the same entity, right? That great dragon says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil, the deceiver. Devil goes into the deceiver, and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. This is an example. The simple are going to easily be deceived by this and be like, oh shit, you really got civilians out there with rifles, but not really taking the time to actually look like, yo, those shits are fake. Those shits are fucking cardboard, yo. Right? Which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him, and his angels will be the angels that were cast out with the damn devil will be, his followers, those who follow Satan, those who follow the devil, all right? Satan's and the devil messengers, all right? Those who actually follow him, okay? All right? It says, and his angels were cast out with him, all right? His followers, his messengers, all right? So again, by now you should even, believe what you see on TV, all right? Yes, it's good. Yes, we, the watchmen of Israel, the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, we happen to be those watchmen for Israel, right? We have to be on those towers constantly looking out, so we have to, watch stuff like this just so we can bring it out to the attention to our people, all right, to the world, all right. But again, take a good look. This shit is cardboard, man. This is fucking cardboard. This is fake, man. It's a bunch of bullshit on the news. Watching the news today is just watching like a live series, TV series, a live movie. It's live, all right, without the special effects and shit like that. Cardboard. Man, this place is fucking through. Let's see. All right, so we can touch on this real quick. So it says the second fill in the blank, right, may come this fall. It says it might not be the same fill in the blank you got last time. All right, so this is the brother William Bradley 144K. He said Evil E adding new ingredients to his fill in the blanks, right? And it's true. This new the second, I don't even want to say it. I'm just, if you know what I'm talking about, right? The second one is going to have ingredients that's much worse than the previous ones you had. Okay, all right. So don't be surprised where people start taking the second one and they start to receive much more severe illnesses, much more severe damage than those who were previously injured by all of the previous B word and the juices. All right. And it's true, Esau be bringing variants out like it's a remix, like it's a fucking iPhone. All right, but let me get that. Let me actually get that. Where it says never trust thy enemy. All right, let's see, get that. All right, never trust thy enemy. I think that's Job 13:4. Let's see, Job 13:4, KJV. Foregoers are liars, physicians of value. Salaka, that's what I meant. All right. Bear with me, bro. All right, so it says here in the book of Job, chapter 13, verse 4, but ye are foregoers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. All right. So this thing right here, right? You see right here in this man's hand, right here, you see? This thing right here, it has no value. It's nothing but death in it. All right, nothing but death, injury. All right, it will not heal you. It will just do more harm. All right, so it's better to not get it than to get it. All right, and if you know that you are a Hebrew Israelite, right, you better put your trust into Yahweh Bashim Yahushua instead of put your trust into man, especially CZE. All right, because CZE will only lead you to death. All right, let's get some more precepts to back that up. So again, right, Job 13:4, right? But ye are foregoers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value. So let's do never trust thy enemy. Never trust thy enemy. KJV. The book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach. All right, so the book of Ecclesiasticus, also chapter 12, verse 10, also known as Sirach. Okay, it says never, and it says sometimes. All right, it says never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. All right, so you can't remove the rust off of iron. All right, it's always going to be there. It's always going to come back. All right, so that's how Esau Edom, his wickedness is described as, is like the rust on iron. It never goes away. All right, his wickedness is always going to be there. All right, if I'm mistaken, I think there's more to that too. Let me see. Yep. It says, though he humble himself, right? Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. All right. So even though the damn serpent, Esau Edom, sleazy E, so-called white man, right? He may come off as like he's humble, right? He may come off as crouching. He may seem like he's harmless as a dove, right? Like he has good intentions for you, right? But it says here, yet take good heed and beware of him. So beware of a snake that presents themselves as being harmless. No, you take heed and be aware of that snake that's around. All right. But just because it did not strike you right away doesn't mean it does not have the intentions to strike you. All right. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. So when you come into this truth, when Yahweh Shai blesses you with a Rakak Ladash, he gives you the spiritual eyes to see, the ear to hear, he puts you on game, right? Our power will put us on game and bless us to actually see the truth, right? It's like looking through a looking glass and you wipe it and you're like, yo, this motherfucker is really the wicked. All right. Even though he may humble himself and go crouching, right? But yo, he's really a fucking snake. He's really evil, all right? This wicked, he's really the wicked, all right? His wickedness has not been wiped away because he is the wicked, all right? See. All right, so verse 12, it says, set him not by thee. All right, set him not by thee, lest when he had overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take your seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. All right, so, right, be careful with inviting this damn serpent into your circle, into your throne, into your table, right? Because even though, like it says in the previous scripture, even though he may seem humble and go crouching, just paraphrasing, right? In his mind, he's seeking to overthrow thee, all right? He's looking for a way to take your seat, all right? He's looking to how he can take you out, all right? And this is one of many ways I'm gonna show you in that image, right? This damn this damn thing right here, right? This is no Esau Edom, you know, making it seem like he's humble, he's crouching, right? Like he cares, right? But the moment you don't take heed and you lay your eye off of him, you put your guard down, he's gonna bite your ass. He's gonna strike you, he's gonna sting you. All right. And when he sting you, what he's put inside of you is venom, is poison, death. Okay. All right. So be careful of who you invite to sit next to you, to eat with you at your table, who you want to receive help from, because in today's world you have Edomites, the so-called white people, who now has characteristic traits of looking like a typical Jake, a typical so-called black person, right? You actually have men and women, children who have wool hair. They maybe they have some color on them, right? Because they have features of their mother trait, right? Their mother has those traits of looking like a typical so-called black person, right? So-called Hispanic person, right? A so-called Native American person, right? But when you meet their father is the wicked, all right? And you are based off your father's seed, all right? So you got to be careful of who you invite into your table, all right? That's what I say to this paraphrasing, to test the spirit, all right? The spirit bear witness. The spirit will be able to know, like, okay, this motherfucker is wicked. This Eve is wicked. Oh, this is a sincere brother. This is a sincere sister. All right, you gotta test the spirit. You gotta try it. All right, the spirit bear witness. All right. Let me get one more. Let's say, can a leopard change its spots? Can a leopard change its spots? KJV. And then we move to the next post. The book of Jeremiah. All right, so the book of Jeremiah, chapter 13, verse 23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leper his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. So Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, his nation, the Edomites, right? The sons of the wicked, right? Even the heathen nation, right? Shit, even the 2/3 of our nation, right? 2/3 of our nation walks in that spirit, in the same spirit of the wicked, right? It says, then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. So, let's use Esau, Edom, so-called white man. He is designed, built, put together, right? He is accustomed. He is born to do evil, all right? But you got to have the eyes, the spiritual eyes, this wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the Holy Scriptures to be able to see that and to understand it. All right. So this right here, right, this is one of many of Esau's Edom blessing, that thing, right? And there's nothing but death in it, all right? He's accustomed to do evil, all right? It's just who he is. That's it. His whole backbone, his whole spine is nothing but written wicked on his whole spine. That shit carved wicked. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Yeah, I came across this. I'm like, yo, this shit fucking crazy. This is truly Babylon, the land of confusion. All right, Babylon, aka America, the land of fucking confusion. All right. It says Days of Lot. Popular advice, communist, Axe Amy is now endorsing polyamory as ethnical non-monogamery. Right? So let's read the scriptures real quick. It says the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 17. And it says, there shall be no whore of daughters of Israel. All right. And who are those daughters of Israel? The Hebrew Israelite women, right? The so-called black women, so-called African American women, so-called Negro women, so-called Puerto Rican women, so-called Dominican women, right? So-called Hispanic or Latino women, right? Or you say Latinas, right? So-called Native American Indian women, right? And you Israelite foreigner women, right? None of you are commanded to not be a whore, a harlot, a thought, all right? Having multiple having multiple partners, all right? It says, there shall be no whore of daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. And the sodomite will go into the G word, the three-letter G word within the alphabet group, right? A man having sexual desires to have a sexual relation with the same sex, with no man on man, right? That's and there shall be no sodomite in the sons of Israel. So you so-called black men, so-called Hispanic men, so-called Native American Indian men, and you Israelite foreigner men, it is forbidden that you are a sodomite, that you lay down, have sex, be in a relationship with the same sex, with another man. All right. Thus says the Lord power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right. Let's get some there's like multiple posters here so you can get an example. It says polymorous, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. People have multiple loving, intentional, and intimate relationships at the same time. So you say like open relationship, it's like an open relationship with multiple partners of both the sexes. All right. This word is a type of open or non-monogamous relationship that follows certain guidelines. This word specifically refers to people who have multiple romantic relationships at the same time. All right, it says the practice of engaging in multiple romantic and typically sexual relationships with the consent of all the people involved. So let's say you have a man and woman that's in a relationship together, or woman and woman, man on man, and these two very couples, both partners have other partners, and they're all within the same circle, and they're all just fucking lovers of each other. Like, that's just fucking disgusting, man. That's some shit the wicked will promote. All right. This has how it said Esau the profound person. All right. He's filthy. He's disgusting. He's wicked. All right. Ain't nothing righteous about this. All right. This is completely bent out of fucking order. All right. This is an example. Let's say the man and woman that's at the far left, right? It's the original couple, right? But then the chick that's laying down and she's holding on to the man that's in front of her, that's her partner. And then the chick that's on the other end, it just, you get it, right? You can see it, right? And you know, a woman having 2 men, 3 men partners, like no, that's you being a whore. That's you being a harlot. All right. All right. So again, Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 17, there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. All right. Let's move on to the next one. All right. All right. So it says annual inflation hits 7.9%, fastest rate since 1982. All right. So this is from the brother Abar again. Yeah, buddy. Shit about to get crucial out here. And it is. It's about to get real bad out here real soon. Very bad, to where everyone who dwells on earth shall feel this squeeze. Everyone's going to literally be affected by it. All right. Everyone, all right, is going to feel that squeeze real soon. All right. If you haven't shout, if you haven't shout the power of Israel, right? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai of Israel, your days are numbered. So you 2/3, right? You know, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and you Israelite foreigners, right? And you know about this truth, you heard about this at some point, right? And you still haven't reached out to our power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and repented to get in order, right? Your days are definitely numbered, all right? And you ain't gonna have mercy from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You ain't gonna have salvation, you're gonna have death, all right? Because at any moment, shit can just suddenly like that just pop off. That can cause a major chain reaction that's going to affect everyone. And that door of mercy, that grace, the time of grace we're in, is going to come to a halt. It's done for. That's it. All right. The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 13. And it says that whosoever would not seek the Lord Yahweh power, or you can say Yahweh Bashem Yahushai power of Israel, should be put to death, whether small or great, whether man or woman. All right. So you Israelite men and women, right? You so-called black men, so-called black women, so-called Hispanic men, so-called Hispanic women, Latino men, Latinas, right? You Native American men, Native American women, and you Israelite foreigner men and women, right? If you don't come back and seek our power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, power of Israel, the creator of heavens and earth, right? You're going to be put to death, all right? I'm going to do like 3 more, No, actually a few more, all right? I'm not in a rush anyway, so mind you, classes in session, all right? Classes in session. Hey, this from a brother, I think brother Shawab posted up, if I'm not mistaken, right? Khan, yeah, so this is brother Shawab, right? Earlier, he posted on Instagram, and these are from the flicks of the movie I Am Legend, right? All right. So let me read that real quick. Oh shit, damn. Let me get straight to the point with it. I'm gonna read it from my phone real quick. Matter of fact, no, from the book. I'll get straight to the point. I'm gonna go to Revelation chapter 13, verse 18, right? So the book of Revelation chapter 13, verse 18, it says, "Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. That equals 666. All right. So if you have this wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the Holy Scriptures, you will see Esau Edom, right? He's predictive programming. He's putting he's letting the world know his agenda, but the simple is not going to believe it. All right, only the elect, only those who been put on game by Yahweh Shemel Shai to have the spirit to be able to see this stuff, right? This is a sign. Revelation chapter 13, verse 18, right? The number of man, right? 603 603 score and six, all right? 666. All right. The sign is there, it's written on the wall. You just gotta have the eyes to see it. See, it's another one, right? And then it says here why US gas prices are at a record and why they'll stay high for a long time. So it's going to stay high and it's going to continue to grow much more higher. It's going to go from inflation to hyperinflation. All right. So don't be surprised where regular gas or unleaded gas is $10 per gallon, $11 per gallon, shit, $13 per gallon. All right. All right. Russia's war on Ukraine, the United States oil industry prepares to boost production, but with a giant warning, a jump in gasoline prices above $4 has oil companies eyeing crude oil output hikes, but pain at the pump will linger as shaky oil markets shun Russian cargoes. All right, so because Biden cut the deal with Russia having the oil, right? That's going to cause a major chain reaction because without oil or lack of oil, right? That's going to cause the reason for the gas prices are going to continue to increase, and that's also going to affect your utility bill, right? Your heat, your AC, your electricity, right? A lot of even your rent, your price to live here. Let's say your price to live here in Babylon, aka America, is going to increase dramatically. Okay, all right. The brother Shawab put all predictive programming has just became reality. The tinfoil hat conspiracy theories win again, while the Walking Dead still dead. God, that is correct. You got a great number of people that's still walking in the spirit of being dead in that deep coma state, the deep sleep. All right, they're literally walking dead. All right, they're physically walking, but their spirit is dead. It's in a dead state. You can't see what's going on. This place Babylon, aka America, is about to walk into a rude awakening. All right, and all of y'all are part of this film. Believe it or not, you are part of this film, Yahweh Shem Shai's film. All right. From Elon Musk's Twitter post, it says, "Hate to say it, but we need to increase oil and gas output immediately. Extraordinary times demand extraordinary measures." All right. Pretty much this is how a devil speaks, right? Just increase the cost of living, right? That goes into many forms. Increase the food, increase the price of food, increase the price of water, increase the price of medicines, increase the price of oil, gas, everything you need for society to be able to live here in Babylon, increase it. All right, this is all engineered. The wicked is putting this shit together. They orchestrating all this shit. All right, really is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Yahweh Yahushai, putting a spirit on these wicked nations, these wicked people, to orchestrate all this to happen so prophecies can be fulfilled. All right.
Yeah. Thank you. Switch to TaxAct and start for free.
With the Russian invasion of Ukraine, oil prices are surging, gas prices very much on the rise in the U.S., the national average climbing above $4 per gallon for the first time since 2008. Seen as Pete Montine live at a gas station in Alexandria, Virginia with the latest. Pete.
John, I just talked to a customer here. She says it felt like just the other day when the gas price here was only around $3. And really, she's kind of right. Look at the numbers. The national average for a gallon of gas, according to AAA, $4.07. It jumped 6 cents overnight. Just last week at this time, it was $3.61 for a gallon of regular on average across the country. You know, this has jumped about 50 cents since the Russian invasion of Ukraine about 11 days ago. This is what's happening here. The U.S. gets about 2% of its oil imports from Russia.
You're gonna need this. Oh, other way. Yeah.
Thank you.
Switch to tax.
So there, you know, the gas is going to continue increasing throughout Babylon. Even these other countries are being affected by it too. It's not just Babylon, aka America, that's experiencing this increase of gas prices, right? That's going to experience the inflation that would then transition into hyperinflation, but other countries as well too. Okay, this is a worldwide thing, worldwide event. All right. Let's get this one. This is something that a lot of us are deeply desiring to happen very soon. A blackout, all right, for that EMP, that electric magnetic pulse nuclear, you know, to fucking, you know, bring a blackout, all right? So social media can be no longer available. Fucking, you know, all these platforms where you just foolish people can just upload, you know, foolish shit. All right, a lot of y'all are going to be, you know, the whole world, everyone that's going to get that, any place that gets hit with EMP is going to be affected by it. All right, not the elect though, not the believers of Yahweh Shai, because we're expecting this to happen, and we believe in faith through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shai and the Holy Spirit, and we're confident that we're going to be taken care of when the blackout happens. Lord willing, we are those very servants, all right, the prophets, you know, the beloved ones of Yahweh Shai. All right, it's a super EMP. The stage is set for North America to get hit by satellite. Russia and allies get blamed. All right, so Lord willing, you know, it's going to happen at some point. We just don't know when, but it's going to happen though. Lord willing, be very soon. A super EMP. Right? I got this from the brother Nahar, and I got it from the brother from Yanazar. All right. The book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 21 to 23. And it says, and the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, said unto Moses, stretch out thy hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. All right, so it's going to be so dark out here that you're going to literally be able to feel the darkness. It's going to feel like darkness is hugging. All right, it's going to feel like you're literally wearing an outfit of darkness. It's going to be so dark that no amount of light is going to be able to project through this darkness. All right. And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. All right. And that also goes into today, Egypt, right? America, right? Babylon, aka America, is the reincarnation of Egypt. Is, you know, Egypt, bondage, right? So Babylon, aka America, this is our place of captivity, right? Bondage, right? We held bondage here. So real soon there's going to be a blackout. All right, it's going to happen, whether you believe it or not. Especially if you don't believe, hey, it's going to happen. Right, it's going to happen. All right, and that's when reality is going to hit you. It's going to be a reality check. Like, damn, I remember these very men had warned us about this. These very prophets, all right, warned us about there's going to be a blackout here, and it's going to be the kind of blackout where you can feel it. All right, and then verse 23, they saw not one another. Neither rose any from his place for 3 days, but all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings, and Lord willing, Yahweh Ratzazah B'Shem Shai, that we are those very children that's going to have light in their dwellings. We're still going to have, let's say, like heat, water, running water system, so you can be able to, you know, use a toilet, take a shower, get some water from the sink, right? The refrigerator is still able to run, so we can store whatever foods that needs to be kept cold, any drinks that need to be kept cold, right? We can still have what we have today, while everyone knows is trapped in that darkness, catching hell, right? They don't have power in their place of dwellings, all right? And it's going to be so dark that people are not going to want to go outside. They're going to stay home because it's that dark out there, right? And what is it that people say that the freaks comes out at night? People start to show their true colors. They start to behave like wild men, like wild animals, right? Because they feel as since no one can see them committing these unrighteous acts, right? Killing people, murdering people, robbing people, raping people, stealing, and the list goes on, right? They feel as they can be seen, so they're gonna do what their wicked hearts desires, all right? But the believers of Yahweh Shai are going to remain humble, be righteous in the best of their ability, and remain in that fear for Yahweh Shai. All right, they're not going to be out there doing crazy shit. All right. The Lord willing, that EMP happens very soon. Again, to wipe out this whole fucking social media bullshit. Let me get this one. It says new Biden on Wednesday ordered government agencies to begin work on creating a digital US dollar. And at some point that charagma, Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, 17, 18, right? The mark of the MOB, right? If you don't have it, you can't buy, you can't sell. You pretty much can have the life that you currently have unless you have that mark of the B. All right. And it says here from Brother Zion, digital US dollars. Hello, Nancy. What's not clicking? But not for real. Hey, the New World Order and mark of the B is on the way, and it is. It's already here. All right. The charagma is already here. It's just not mandatory yet. All right. It's not mandatory to the whole world. All right. But real soon, when that charagma becomes mandatory in order for you to buy or sell, that's going to affect everyone. That's when that hour of temptation is going to hit. All right. A great number of our people, the 2/3 of our people, are going to get tempted, and they're going to bow down to the image of the beast, to Esau Edom's beast system, and take that charagma, and they're going to receive a punishment for that. All right. If you receive the radio frequency identification chip, right, the FRD chip, which is the MOTB, all right, there's punishments to it. There's going to be judgment. All right. Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to judge you in many different kind of terrible ways. All right. So, either you build your faith, come back to the obedience of the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Bashim Shai, get in order so you can be taken care of, Lord willing, or you just bow down to Esau Edom's system, the charagma, and receive a terrible judgment. All right. It's up to you. All right. It's up to Yahweh Bashim Shai where he wants you to go on your next path with this. All right. You get the charagma, you die regardless. All right. If you don't get it, Lord willing, you continue enduring and you be saved. You receive salvation. You be taken care of. All right. You'll be fed. You'll receive drink, clothing, shelter. Right. Let me get two more. I'm gonna get this one and this one. All right. Time is ticking. All right. Time is ticking for Judgment Day. All right. The day where 2/3 of our nation is going to die. All right. So you see here is the sand clock, whatever you call it, right? Their time is running up. All right. They want to die. Some are already dying, and soon the others are going to die. All right. So from the brother Shawab again, time is ticking for you 2/3. All right, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, and you Israelite foreigners. Repent or die, life or death. Which one suits you? 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 58. The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. Romans 6:23. For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of the Most High Yahweh Bashim Shai is eternal life through Yahweh Shai of Mashiach, the Anointed One, our Lord. All right. So if you don't get your ass in order, right, and get right with our power, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, well, guess what? Your days are numbered, and eventually you're gonna die. All right. You're gonna die in a very terrible, horrific way. All right. Let's get this last one, and we'll close out. All right. So it says new. This is from End Times headline, and it says when Bible prophecy teachers are labeled extremists and dangerous, and the precept that came to mind. Okay. Matthew 5, 10, and 12. But let me read here. If you know, Akim, time soon approaching when many will hate us. The world will hate us and see us as the quote unquote bad guy. All right. And stay on your watch and pray up. Matthew chapter 5, verse 10 to 12. Right. And it says, blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revive you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake, for Yahweh Shem Yahushua's sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. All right. So it's a blessing when the world persecutes us for righteousness. When it's a blessing when we are persecuted for righteousness' sake. It's a blessing when we are persecuted. People are speaking all manner of evil against us falsely. Right. There's also a blessing where men shall revive us, right? So we're going to go into those two words, persecute and revive, so you can get an understanding, a better understanding of it. Persecute definition. Then we'll close out, Lord willing. And it says, right? It says subject someone to hostility and ill treatment, especially because of their race or political or religious beliefs. All right, so just because, just alone, we being Hebrew Israelites and we're acknowledging it, we already being treated, we already being persecuted just for the fact that we're Hebrew Israelites. All right, not because we're so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, right? It's because we are Hebrew Israelites, the true children of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? The chosen nation within the Holy Bible speaks of, right? The nation of Israel, all right? We're already persecuted for that because we are within the three classes of men. We are the sons of the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We're already persecuted because of that, all right? And not just that, but because within Israel, you have a Israel of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? Because even the 2/3 of our nation persecutes us, right? Because we're walking in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, we're doing the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We're prophesying, we're rebuking our people, we're showing them their transgressions, right? We're telling them that that our Lord and Savior Yahushai and our Father Yahweh is a dark melanin man. All right, he's not a so-called white man with he doesn't have leprosy. All right, he has wool hair, not straight hair. He doesn't have blue eyes. All right. He's a dark-skinned melanin man, our Heavenly Father, not Big Brother Yahushua, all right? And that his name is not Jesus, Yahuwah, Yahweh, Ahaya, and all these other fucking crazy names, Yah, and etc., right? Right? We're persecuted for many things, right? Because of we are Hebrew Israelites, and it says political or religious beliefs because of our beliefs in who? Yahweh Shem Yahushai and the words, the Holy Scriptures. Both the sweet and the bitter. All right, we believe everything that's in the Bible. All right, and because of that, we're persecuted. All right, we're victimized. We're mistreated. All right, we're oppressed, harassed. All right. And then when you go into revive, damn it, come on, revive definition. It says criticize in a criticize in an abusive or angrily insulting manner. And we have brothers who experience being criticized in an abusive or in an angrily insulting manner. You know, we have brothers who will actually get physically shoved while they're prophesying. You got brothers who got shot at, right? You got brothers who will get into a physical altercation because these damn devils will have the spirit on them to actually get physical, right? So when you're in this ministry, you know, prepare yourself to be criticized in an abusive or angrily insulting manner way. Right? Be prepared to be persecuted. People treating you wrong because you are a Hebrew Israelite because of our beliefs. All right. But it's a blessing. Okay. As it said. All right. As it says here. All right. When you're labeled as an extremist or dangerous for being a servant, a prophet of Yahweh Hashem Shai, guess what? Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. All right. Blessed are ye when men shall revile ye, right? When they shall, you know, be aggressive, abusively towards you, right? It said persecute you and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my name's sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. So it's a blessing when the world, you know, your own family, your own friends, your past loved ones, your past significant loved ones, you know, your past partners, right? Anyone of this world, it's a blessing when you, right? Those who are serving Yahweh Basham Shai with your whole heart, mind, body, soul, when you're persecuted. All right, it's a blessing. All right. So that's all I gotta say. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Shai, just want to touch on some current / various topics on what's going on here in Babylon and throughout the world. All right, so Lord Williams' lesson was edifying. Barakah Yahweh, Barakah Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Hakakah Kadash, Kohalayim, La'abanawa Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Hakakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for rule and teach well. Much due respect to the Akim who are laboring works. And Shalom to you believers, to the Akim wa Akwayim, which be your brothers and sisters who subscribe to the truth. All right. DTA, Abal soon. Kwam Yasharala, death to America real soon. All right. Abba Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Pashah, 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 Abal, death to America. All right. Shabbat Shalom, by the way. Shabbat Shalom. Enjoy the rest of your Sabbath. All right. Shalom.